Earlier this year, we witnessed the most unfathomable, horrifying period that brought down the entire humanity to their knees. The second wave of COVID spared very little the sanity of healthcare workers. Despite working at the hospital for maddening hours, Dr. Garima felt that there were salvageable lives ending due to lack of oxygen, unavailability of beds, and drugs. So she volunteered for free teleconsults, receiving a zillion calls a day for beds, drugs, and oxygen. They would call up hospitals and ask for bed availability, sometimes create beds at their own parent institutes for salvageable patients. NewsX proudly recognizes second wave superhero Dr. Garima Pathania.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I am Fiza Jain. Today on the second wave superheroes, we have with us Dr. Garima Pathania, who is a co-founder of Your Wellness Crafters and was also an earlier resident pediatrician at Safdarjung Hospital. She has been helping with SOS calls for hospital beds in Delhi and NCR, and she also ran a mental health session and online sessions. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to you on the show. Ma'am, my first question to you is, what really led to you, what motivated you to help people during these COVID times with the beds and everything?
Well, hi Fiza. Firstly, thank you for having me. I think as a doctor, this pandemic has gotten a lot of helplessness for all of us. So no matter how much work you're doing within the premise of the hospital, you always come back home and are bombarded with like a zillion calls about people not getting beds and oxygen and just basic facilities that could actually save lives. So I think just the feeling that, we're not doing enough probably led a lot of doctors to also entertain these calls and try and just run helter-skelter and arrange for resources in whatever way possible. So I think it's not just me, but a lot of doctors and I think people from across professions have come together in the pandemic just because of this crunch of resources, right?
So, ma'am, how has your journey been helping people getting their beds and like answering all the SOS calls? How has it been? How has it affected you, people around you, or probably your mental health?
Right. So, Fiza, a lot of times we were able to provide help to people, and it's been so overwhelming as an experience that sometimes you've just arranged a bed or you've just arranged something for a patient, and within 2 to 3 hours you're getting a text that the patient is no more. So I think just the magnitude of what is happening, I think none of us had anticipated it. And it has led to quite a bit of a deterioration in our mental health as well. I do have these random breakdowns here and there because of this sheer helplessness that we have felt. Yes, I think the most of the experience, I would say 80% of the experience has been very, very good, right? It's been very satisfying to being, to have been able to help somebody outside of my profession and probably, in an administrative or whatever way. But these, even like one a phone call and, informing you of a death or demise of somebody who you think could have been saved is like a punch in the gut. So I think that way the mental health of a lot of healthcare workers has gotten affected really badly.
Yeah, I have heard that a lot of doctors have had these emotional breakdowns and all of these things have been really crazy for them. How have you been reaching out to people? Like, how do you get to know about these SOS? Do people contact you directly? Do you get to know through the social media handles and all these things?
Right. So, we have been running a couple of volunteer groups, whether it is with the local NGOs or, just kind of distributing your numbers for SOS basis. So most of these calls are random. Some of these calls are through social media. Some of these calls are through the NGO. I think it's been a multi-dimensional sort of a route, right? People have been approaching here from everywhere. But as I was telling you, the mental health of a lot of us has gotten affected so badly because of the sheer volume of calls and these distress calls that you get. And it's not always possible to help everybody, right? So various media, a lot of NGOs. There is this NGO called Every Infant Matters that is run by Dr. Radhika Batra, and she's doing a phenomenal job. She got a couple of doctors on this platform, on a common shared platform, to sort of try and help and mitigate resources and provide SOS online consultations pro bono.
So is it like you've been trying to focus on people who are like not really digitally that active, or who really are not there on any social media platform? How have you been helping them?
Well, Fiza, I think the kind of people that have reached out to us have been from all sections of the society, right? There are serving soldiers who are not being able to admit their fathers. There's this huge poor section of society that's not being able to afford oxygen cylinders. So I think this pandemic has not been picky in terms of the misery that it's caused. I think right from the affluent to the downtrodden, I think everybody has been hit very, very badly. It's been so difficult for a couple of my doctor colleagues to get a bed in their own hospital. So I don't think that it has spared any population, and I think the distress calls have been from all sections of society.
Indeed, like it's really has taken a toll on every person, and I feel that helping out each and every person in any single way really helps a lot. And whatever you've been doing is phenomenal and is amazing job, because like getting a bed was till now really a major task for people. People were really panicking on it, and indeed like helping people that way, you have really done an amazing job, and we really want to credit you and give you the right amount of respect for that. And thank you so much for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.